Okay, hi there. Today is day 3 of the Jennibelli 7-day challenge. So I get to pull another one of these little challenges out of this little bag. And a couple of you have commented on my other videos about taping these up into little squares and how fun that is. So here's day 3. Even though you know what's in here, I know the 7 challenges that I put in here, you never quite know what you're going to pull for that day. I wrote these on the back of recipes, and this says cups of American cheese. Let's use my painted Tim Holtz scissors. I got gold paint on my Tim Holtz scissors. Perfect. Right where it belongs. Let's open it up. It's like opening a piece of chewing gum, a little challenge for today, a little gifty. So your challenge, Mary, for today, should you decide to accept it, and I will, is graphite water-soluble bars. Here they are. I was reading, and I think it was in fact, I'm pretty sure. I'll put a link to it. It's not a video. I read the Artistsnetwork, and there was a link on using color with your graphite. Water-soluble graphite. And so I might do that, although I've got color behind on the background. Let me think what I want to do with this, and if I want to put some color. If I put some color, I'll probably put a blue, or this is black, or I'm thinking a reddish color. Let me think about this, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Here are my graphite bars. I've only used these one other time, well, maybe 2 times, but mostly one time that I remember. And that's when I did my dad drawing in my dad and mom journal, and I used this 8B. So these are a fairly new product to me, which is why I chose them for one of my challenges. There's a 12B, a 10B, and an 8B. Now, I'm understanding that the 12B is probably softer than the 10B, and the 10B is probably softer than the 8B. So I'm going to choose what I think is the softest one, which is the 12B. And from my art school days, from one of my instructors, I don't remember which one, it said that when you get a new product, you want to play with it and work with it and see what you can make it do, the different things you can make it do. And I want to do that when I get something new, but I'm so excited to make art that sometimes I forget to use the product and see the different ways that I can use it. So rather than trying to draw anything representational on this, I think that I'm just going to make marks with these different pieces here, the 12B, the 10B, and the 8B, whoops, and see what I can do. This probably will not be anything that looks like anything. And as far as color on the page, I think in the article I read, they recommended putting down a graphite drawing. Well, I'm not making a drawing, but then using a fixative on it, and then coming back with your color. And they're doing something very representational. I think that I'm just going to spray mine, and I chose some Delusions Postbox Red. And we'll see what happens here. So this point on, it's going to be fast forward. I have no idea where I'm going with this. I feel the need to talk about this page. This certainly is not a pretty page, but it was a page where I was learning about my graphite tools here, and I'm sure that I have not learned all my lessons yet, especially since I only have an 8x5 area to work in, and I had a lot I wanted to express on this page. I wanted to try out the different areas of the graphite bars. You see, I started out by just taking the ends and kind of making dots on the page, and then I got down into here where I was rubbing it and kind of trying to bring out the texture. And then around, and since I've worked this page, you can't see everything, which is why I need to talk about it, but I also used the tip of the pen just to make marks. And of course, with water soluble, you've got to use water, and I actually used my water brush, but I also used this brush, and I painted with it. Down in here, you saw me make some ink and actually make a well of ink to paint with, and I splattered with it. You saw me do some splatters, and that's what I was attempting to write here, but I stopped with the word splatter because I couldn't get all my techniques on here without completely destroying all the different things. And then I got out my nib pen, and from the well of ink that I made with my water graphite, I started drawing some lines with my ink pen. I think that could be explored more. And my dilution spray wouldn't work. I was going to spray this entire page with this, but I'm kind of glad it didn't work because I put it down on my drop sheet here, which is waxed paper, and mixed it with my graphite. And it kind of turned it, of course there's red in here. You can see the red, which is okay because that's the color. But up in here, it kind of, the gray graphite with the red kind of turned it a reddish brown color. You can see that in here, in this area too. So you can mix it with water. The graphite will, of course, tone it down. It'll push the color back, this bright, bright red color, like this, mixed with the graphite will tone it down into a brown. And then on these letters, I wanted to point out that I'm using, there was a question and I'll answer the question, but this white pen is a Sakura Pen Touch white pen. And I will agree that this white flows very easy, but still the ink will absorb the color of the background. I suppose if you do it 2 or 3 times, you can bring it out white to where it no longer absorbs into the page. I need to be careful because I've got my Black Magic ink on here. I wanted to bring out my letters a little bit more. And you can see that the graphite dries a little bit more gray, which is what graphite is. And then this is my black ink in here. And I kind of brought that black out with my white pens. So while this is not a beautiful page, I was not going for beauty. I was going for discovering what my pen can do, or my graphite bars can do. And I found several things. I found the splatters, the texture, the lines, the ink, mixing it with the color, drawing with my nib pen, drawing these lines out with my nib pen, using my sponge in here. I kind of obliterated it, but I used my sponge in here to do some stamping with it, with the sponge to make little squares. So there's a lot you can do with 3 bars of graphite. So maybe I'll be using some of these techniques on some of my other pages as I explore these more. So that is day 3. What can you do with your graphite bars? I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I will see you again on day 4 with whatever we pull out of this little bag. I might make this an entire video by itself because it's going to be long with all my chatter. So I might make this its own day 3 video. Thank you for watching.